Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on? I hope you guys are doing well. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I want to welcome you to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. Now, today I was thinking about something that is in the media right now that has to do with this submarine. Apparently, there's a submarine that went down, and it was supposed to explore the Titanic and the wreckage from the Titanic. And I don't know if you guys have been following this story, but it's really fascinating. I know my wife is really almost obsessed with it, and it's really made me interested in what's been going on here. And so basically, there was a group of rich people that went down under the sea, and they were looking for the Titanic. And I don't know if they got that far down, but at some point they went missing, and now they're pretty much confirmed dead. Now, the interesting thing about this is that, first of all, it's sad. It's a tragedy. I don't know if you guys have been following this or not. Let me know if you've been paying attention to this story. But also, there's a lot to be said about risk and understanding what risk looks like, understanding how to manage risk and things like that. So I thought that it would be interesting to talk about this from a business standpoint in terms of what this company did. The company, I want to say the company was oh gosh, Ocean Gate. I believe that's the name of the company. And so Ocean Gate obviously is stuck with a tremendous amount of liability. They're going to get their butt sued off. But what I also read was that, they signed lots of waivers. There were waivers that were signed before the trip took place. So maybe the lawsuits won't be coming, but I think it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. Now, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. I'm going to share an image here with you. Now, this guy here is a guy named Hamish Harding. Hamish was a billionaire who went on this trip. I looked up Hamish. His net worth is about $1 billion. Hamish has actually set world records for traveling not just below the sea, but he also went to the South Pole several times. He went up into outer space with Blue Origin, the company owned by Amazon. So Hamish is an adventurer. And I think he understood the risk. I think that he understood that he might not come back. And one of the things I think that's interesting about this, and I think everybody should understand this, is that there's a way that risk takers think. There are some people who look at this and they say, why in the hell would you do this? Why would you go up? Why would you go down in a submarine and try to go look for the Titanic and put yourself in a situation where you might die? And I totally get that. That makes total sense. This is not a trip I would have taken myself. However, and I agree with Momo. Momo says it feels like it was a suicide mission. And I agree. Maybe it was. Maybe there were some aspects of this whole situation that were just problematic from the jump, risks that they should have known about, things that they should have been very careful about. However, I'm going to tell you this too. There's a part of me that also remembers that you only live once. And one thing I can bet you is that these wealthy people that went on this trip, these don't come off like the types of men that are afraid to die. Another one, there's a multimillionaire, Shahzada Dawood. I don't have his picture, but Shahzada went down. He took his son's name Suleiman, his 19-year-old son, and he also died in this tragic incident. He's not a billionaire, but he's worth about $136 million. Then there's the owner of the company, and I should have his name. Because this, he's responsible for this, so we should say his name. Let me see here. Owner of Ocean Gate. The owner of Ocean Gate, our founder and CEO is Stockton Rush. Stockton Rush, he's married to Wendy Rush. Now, the interesting thing about Stockton Rush is that Stockton, his wife Wendy, is actually the great granddaughter of a couple that was actually on the Titanic. Did y'all hear that? Did any of y'all know about that? That literally this lady is a descendant. Here she is right here. I just pulled it up on the web. She's a descendant of the people who were on the original Titanic. Now, when I told that to my wife, my daughter and my mother-in-law, they were kind of freaked out about that. That almost sounds spooky, right? Like there's some sort of supernatural intervention that kind of happened here. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to just say this, right? Look, here's how I look at it. First off, it sounds like, safety wasn't taken as seriously as it could have. There were lots of warnings by others who said, look, this company doesn't, they're not taking all the precautions. they're going to get somebody killed at some point. This is going to end bad. And that's 100% true, right? So give me a yes if you understand that this could have been done better. Let's just make sure we make that point clearly so no one thinks that I think this is a good idea, okay? So give me a yes if you agree that everything wasn't done properly and that some of these risks could have been minimized or avoided. In fact, there was one adventurer who backed out and said, "You're taking too many chances. I don't want to be a part of this." I get that. So given that we have acknowledged that side of the debate, I want to talk to you a little bit about this thing called risk. And here's the thing. If you look at Hamish Harding and Shahzada, these are very wealthy people. These are people that are worth, $1 billion or close to $1 billion. Shahzada's not a billionaire, but he's very wealthy. Hamish is also extremely wealthy. Hamish is the billionaire. Shahzada is worth over $100 million. People who make that kind of money are typically people who take chances other people don't. If you're ever going to get rich, I just want you to understand this about wealth and money and everything else. Scared money don't make money. Scared people don't make money. So if you want to go through life and always play it safe, that's cool. But I have to agree with the CEO, even though I think that there were some things that could have been done. He said, look, if you want to be 100% safe, just stay in your car, or don't even get in your car, stay in the house. Right. So here's the thing. This is more applicable to you. This is not just about a bunch of people that went down into the sea. I want to reiterate, this is not a trip I would have selected for myself. I would not be going on this trip. You won't ever hear about Dr. Boyce going on the Titanic. But let me tell you this, I don't know nothing about going down on the Titanic or going on a submarine, but I do know a whole lot about being a Black man in America. And I can tell you that there are a few things riskier than growing up as a Black man in America, particularly when you're taking on things like white supremacy. I can tell you that being a Black man in America means that I've had to take chances when I've confronted racism that other Black people around me would not take. I can also tell you as a Black man who has had some success, made some money, done some things no one else has ever done, that I had a whole lot of people, I call them Negro naysayers, who only see the downside of every risk that I take. All they see is the problem. All they see is the risk. All they see is the negative. All they see is what can go wrong. They never really see what can go right. They don't see the glory. They see the failure. And then here's what happens. Here's the thing about risk. The thing that you got to understand about risk is that a risk taker must inherently understand that risk sometimes does not work out in your favor. There's no rule book that says that because you took the right risk, it's going to play out for you. I'm a really good poker player. I've won big poker tournaments with, hundreds of people in those tournaments. And I'm going to tell you like this, sometimes you do everything right and it still ends up bad. And every time it ends up bad for you and you're bloody and you're burning and you lose it all, or you're picking up the pieces from your life, there's always going to be somebody who's going to go back and armchair quarterback every single thing that you did. There's always somebody who's going to go back and second guess every single risk you took. There's always somebody who's going to go back and say, well, if you hadn't have done this, then this would have been, and if you hadn't have taken that chance, and I told the Negro, I told him not to invest in no stock market cause he knew he was going to lose money. He knew. You didn't know that. You didn't know that. You knew maybe that there was a 60% chance I was going to succeed and a 40% chance I was going to fail. So we ended up in that 40%. We ended up in the 40%. That does not mean that you were right. That just means that the coin got flipped and it landed on your side of the coin as opposed to my side. I can tell you this, there is not one single millionaire, billionaire, or trillionaire, there's going to be a trillionaire at some point, or $1 trillion company that would not have existed had somebody not taken a major risk. Now, again, I want to give me a yes to let me know you're hearing what I'm saying, because I want you to understand that I'm seeing both sides of the argument. I'm not here to tell you that they did everything right. I'm not here to tell you that this is the way you should live. I'm not telling you that you have to take crazy risks to be successful. But the universe has a way of connecting risk and reward. Typically, people who have accolades, success, lots of money, lots of power, those are people who take chances. Barack Obama took a lot of chances to try to become president of the United States. That's why at the age of 42 years old, he couldn't even afford a rental car. That because he was trying to become president one day, he took a risk. It may not have worked out for him. He could have ended up a failure. He could have ended up as some raggedy old dude who tried to become president who didn't actually make it. There's another parallel universe of a Barack Obama who did not become president, who is now the laughing stock of his family because people are saying, who does Negro think he is, thinking he could be president anyway? Can't no black man be president, right? So what I want to just kind of say to you is this. Here's how I look at this. And if you could, please do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. I want to remind you also, I have a new book out. It's called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. It's an Amazon bestseller. You can go check it out there. Also, the All Black National Convention is happening in October 20th. So if you are Black first and you care about the community and you want to grow, you want to learn about wealth, relationships, politics, everything else, we gather leading experts from our community who put our community first, not just entertainers, not just celebrities. We shy away from celebrities. We look for the real superstars who are really moving the community. So if you'd like to learn more, just go to allblacknationalconvention.com. That's allblacknationalconvention.com, or you can go to boycewatkins.com. I have a free list of AI stocks that you can pick up there if you want to invest in artificial intelligence. There's some good investments out there. I want you to make money. All right. So here's the final point I'm going to make on this. And this is something that I want to kind of share in terms of speaking from the heart about this. I have a tremendous amount of admiration for every single person that was on that vessel. I have a tremendous amount of respect for the fact that these men got up and did something that most people would not do. Remember, the victory is not just in winning. The victory is in having the courage to go for what you want out of life. You know, Hamish Harding, yeah, he died too soon. But guess what? Hamish Harding is also a guy who at his funeral, they will be able to have pictures of him in outer space. He went to outer space. They will have pictures of him going to the North Pole. He went to the North Pole. They will have pictures of him breaking records where he went deeper into the ocean than damn near anybody else. This man set 2 or 3 world records. And I'm going to tell you like this. A lot of people stay alive, but they're not actually living. A lot of people are able to keep from dying, but they're not actually living. So some people might as well be dead. So what I'm saying to you is that whatever it is that you want to do, whatever chance it is that you need to take, whatever move you got to make, just put yourself out there a little bit, take the risk of looking a little bit silly, take the risk of messing up, take the risk of things blowing up in your face. Because here's what I'm going to tell you like this. There is greatness, there's glory, there's success, there's power, there's wealth, but it all lies on the other side of your fear. Everything you've ever dreamed of is on the other side of your fear. Your fear is the wall that's blocking you from the life that you want and from the life you deserve. And I'm just here to encourage you to go for that life. I don't consider any of these men to be stupid. I don't consider any of them to be failures. Could they have taken less risk? Absolutely. Could more precautions have been taken? Absolutely. But I guarantee you that there's no other way this tragedy could have occurred without somebody second guessing whatever. And the people who do the second guessing typically are the people who were too scared to take a chance. So I just want you to understand that even in the face of tragedy, there's still sometimes something to be celebrated. All right, guys. So anyway, that's all I want to share with you. I hope this conversation was helpful. I don't know. I'm trying Zoom differently this time, so I hope you guys can hear me. My podcast is also on Spotify. So if you go look up the Dr. Boyce Breakdown on Spotify, you'll find me there. Or just look up Boyce Watkins. You'll find me on Spotify. Also at boycewatkins.com, I have a training called How to Make Money Without Working. If you're interested in that, feel free to go to boycewatkins.com. So take care, guys. And I'll say thank you so much. Michelle and everybody else in here, I see you. Rough and Ready, Clearly, Scarlet Damsel, good to see you. God bless you guys. Have a good night, and I'll see you soon. Take care now.